So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Carrasco Ranch. My name is Robert, if this is your first time tuning in. So in today's video, we're going to cover the cost to maintain a pond for a year. Drop it down in the comments. How much do you think it costs to maintain a pond for a year? Give me your best guess down in the comments. I'm also going to give you guys some variables that may affect the cost of your pond. So this is particularly the cost for my pond. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Real quickly, by the way, if you want to follow me on my blog, we have paid subscriptions and free subscriptions. ZenfulWarrior.com. It'll all be linked down below. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the cost real quick. So people probably think that it's kind of expensive to run a pond, which I personally don't think it is, and it depends on what type of pond you have. So real quickly, what consists of maintaining a pond? So the first thing I have is pond dye, and I'll link this down below. All the chemicals that I use will be down in the description, so you can check them out and purchase them yourself if you need them. But yeah, so pond dye is really important, and the reason it's important is because it keeps the algae from building up. I actually have a little bit of algae building up now because of all this heat, so I'm gonna have to be adding some more algicide in here. But pond dye is about $40. It fluctuates depending on, I guess, on supply. I'm not really sure, but it does fluctuate. Probably about 10, 15 bucks either which way. But I have it at about 40 bucks. I use about three of those gallons per year. So it comes out to about $120 per year for the pond dye. The next thing is algicide. Algicide is something you always want to keep handy in case things start to get out of control. This one is not getting out of control yet. If anything, I'll probably just add some tilapia. They'll take care of it within a week. But yeah, anyways, algicide. It's about $100 for the gallon bottle of it. Again, this kind of fluctuates as well. I guess on supply, I'm not really sure. But yes, this will be linked down below as well. But it's about $100. I go through one every 2 years, maybe every year. I went ahead and just marked it as a year. So it's about $100 for the year. So the next one to maintain the pond is bait fish. Just keeping a good, healthy predator population kind of helps the whole ecosystem, and it starts down with the plankton inside the pond first, and then the bait fish. So bait fish, it costs me about $300 a year to kind of keep putting bait fish in there, and it just depends what I want to put in there. Sometimes I'll put some shiners, sometimes I'll get some tilapia. Tilapia are good because they will take care of the algae, and they do provide food for the predator fish, and also some fathead minnows. Fathead minnows are really, really slow compared to some of like the shiners, so they're easier prey for some of the like catfish and stuff like that. The next thing is electricity costs. How much does the electricity cost to run this thing? That's going to vary. It's very seasonal. Obviously, in the summer, you have a lot more evaporation, and on windier days, you also have a lot more evaporation. So electricity bill's a little bit higher on those days. And I don't have to run the water well too much because the clay down here does hold water very well. But on average, it's about 40 bucks a month to kind of supply water to this thing. Again, this is going to vary based off of how much evaporation you have. Do you have a big tank with maybe not so good clay? Maybe you're in a sandy area, maybe you're in a rocky area. It's going to vary. For me, it's about 40 bucks a month, so $40 times 12, it's about $480 a year to supply water inside the tank, which isn't bad. It adds a lot of value to the property, in my opinion, and it's worth the $480, $500 per year. So real quickly, guys, one cost I did forget to note down was the cost of fish food. So it cost me about $300 a year to supply fish food for the fish. So that brings the grand total up to $1,300 for the fish, for maintaining the pond. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into some variables that may fluctuate the cost of your pond maintenance. So the pond dye is going to be dependent on how large or how small your pond is. If you have a larger pond, it's going to cost more money to keep that thing dyed, so that way the sunlight doesn't start to create growth in your pond. If you have a smaller pond, maybe half the size of this, then it's going to cost you probably about half of what I spend, which is about $120 a year. So it may cost you 60 bucks a year. The next thing is going to be the algicide. Again, this is going to be dependent on how large your pond is. The algicide lasts me a long time, so I could probably get away with using it for 2 years. So you can probably double the size of this thing and it will last me a year. Again, if you have a smaller pond, it's going to cost you a lot less as well. The next thing is the bait fish. You don't have to spend money on bait fish. You can go out and catch your own if you really, really want to. And that'll obviously reduce, a couple $100 per year for maintaining the pond. But you're gonna have to have some type of food, whether you buy pelleted food, whether you have real fish like bait fish, whatever you choose. So the next variable for the cost of maintaining a pond is gonna be your electricity. You may be in an area where electricity costs more, maybe in an area where it costs less. You may be in an area where the water just doesn't hold in your location. So that's going to cost more money to keep that thing filled up. Again, this is going to vary based off of where you are, what type of soil you have, the electricity company you have. You could even run it off of solar. You could reduce your cost as well doing that. There's multiple ways to reduce the cost for a lot of these things. You just got to get a little more creative and kind of find out what works best for you. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick video of how much does it cost to maintain a pond for a whole year. Yeah, guys, hope you guys liked it. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.